After a phenomenal 2018, the responses the winter 2019 anime season is getting have been mixed. While some people gush over the season and it does have a small handful of powerhouse hits, others felt kind of let down. And a sentiment I'm seeing a lot, though I may not personally agree, is that this is one of those dull seasons where you just catch up on all the shows you missed instead. Fortunately, there happened to be a lot of those, because last year had so many great shows that everyone and their dog was watching that a lot of really good shows got missed. So if you're wondering what you slept on so you can catch up on it now, your friendly neighborhood AniTuber is happy to help. I'll be going through the past year, giving you a few shows from each season that you probably missed and why you should give them a shot. Winter blew us away with a ton of great shows, and if you need your cute fix again, definitely check out How to Keep a Mummy. It's an adorably heartwarming show about a kid whose irresponsible adventurer dad keeps sending him potentially dangerous artifacts from other countries. So when he gets a sarcophagus in the mail, he's expecting either a shambling corpse or a yandere monster girl. But this mummy not only isn't trying to kill him, he's tiny, harmless, and really just wants a friend. Soda decides to keep the little guy instead of shipping him back to Egypt, and he discovers a number of his peers also keep supernatural pets of their own. And speaking of adorable mascot characters, how about a show about the fans who love them? I'm a little too phylogynous to get into most Bishonen series, but Sanrio Boys drew me in with its commentary on gender roles, self-expression, and what it's like to love something as much as the titular boys love the mascots they were created to sell. Yes, it's a giant commercial, but so is your favorite anime. And Sanrio Boys' shameless product focus still feels real. Because people do make theme park pilgrimages, pre-order merchandise to collect, and talk about their favorite characters all the time. It also takes a meta look at its own genre constantly. This show made me cry, and it also made me want to buy a bunch of Sanrio merch, so everybody wins. Moving into spring, one big show that flew under the radar was Wotakoi, Love is Hard for Otaku. Like I mentioned in my Kemerikasa video, this one was probably slept on because it's an Amazon Prime show. Wotakoi is a cute little rom-com about an office lady who tries to hide her love for anime and games at her new office because otaku stereotypes are still a pretty harsh thing and her last boyfriend dumped her for being a yaoi fangirl. Unfortunately, her childhood friend and new coworker didn't get the memo, but when he blows her cover, they end up dating and she gets some new nerd friends. I see a lot of people looking for romance anime about adults instead of teenagers, and if you're one of them, this one's a good pick. Elsewhere in spring, watch Hina Matsuri if you haven't. I was hesitant to check out a parenting story because, but thankfully this one stays a parenting story instead of going the Tale of Genji route. Hina Matsuri is a quarter tear-jerking and 3/4 hilarious, taking a Yakuza playboy and giving him no choice but to look after a dangerous psychic kid. But as she starts to learn empathy and he starts to learn responsibility, they eventually view one another as family and improve their relationships with everyone in their community. The supporting cast is really fleshed out, and unlike in a lot of comedies, the status quo not only changes, but changes drastically over time. These are my children now. The summer season also gave us something great in a genre I don't usually watch. Angels of Death is a horror anime that's more focused on the dynamic between its two leads, an emotionally broken preteen who doesn't see the point of living anymore, and a stupid disaster of a serial killer who acts before he thinks. As the two of them make a pact to escape a building full of puzzles and tests set up by fellow murderers, you're half drawn in by the questions about what this place is and why they're here, half by the leads playing off each other and slowly bonding despite themselves. A friend described it as a buddy comedy set in Silent Hill. I would tell you why you also need to watch Planet With, but every other AniTuber already has, so go do that. When you're done, come back and try Hadokana Receive. If you're not put off by fan service or the culture clash of a romance between first cousins, this is a cute Yuri sports anime where the new girl in town tries to get the girl she likes to open up more, only to meet her ex-partner, both in beach volleyball and the other way, and gets drawn into the sport, pulling the other girl back in too. The visuals are great, even if the CG gets kind of distracting, and it's a cute, fluffy time, particularly in contrast to the other sports anime of the season, Hanabado, which was more of a sports anime villain origin story. Fall was a little better, with most of the best shows getting a lot of recognition, but Anima Yell definitely deserved more attention. Sure, the studio put their B team on this show and it doesn't look great, but it's another cute sports anime, this time about cheerleading. The character relationships are nice to see, with a focus on supportive friendship no matter what your dreams are, and it's a fun watch. It came with chibi shorts too, released on YouTube while the main show was on Crunchyroll. There you have it, a crop of assorted shows you might want to watch if nothing this season's doing it for you. And if you want something current that's being slept on, Kemerikasa, The Magnificent Kotobuki, and Endro are all pretty entertaining depending on your tastes. Let me know in the comments what your favorite underrated show from the past year is. This is Secret Identity Studio, and to that person running Crunchyroll's Twitter account who tried so hard to push How to Keep a Mummy last year, thank you.